Hello guys, this is Thomas, currently living in Japan. Used to be very high ranked in League of Legends and Rocket League, top 1% around there. Former engineer and now working on JLPT N1, also BJJ competitor and learned guitar in the past. But anyways guys, today I'm going to talk about learning again as usual. And when it comes to learning, I truly believe that interest is the most important thing. And this is something that I realized in myself too, but also from watching this guy, Steve Kaufman, who talks about language and how interest is so important in language learning. And I think interest is extremely important in whatever you're learning, because interest, it keeps you, first off, you can stay focused on the material much more easily because you know you're interested because it's going to have some kind of impact on your life, right? It's easier to stay motivated when things are difficult if you have more interest. Like if you have more interest, you tend to find more time also to do whatever skill you're doing, and you just tend to absorb more, like overall, when you actually sit down to learn. And I think, the reason for that is probably something in our biology, because we know maybe it's going to help us survive or something like that. And it's really like something that maybe is geared towards us, that helps us find our niche in this world. And if I had to assume, it's probably something genetic or biological that makes that happen, right? Because we are creatures. Anyways, that's a whole nother tangent. But the other day somebody asked me like, oh, how do I learn like English, right? And I asked them and I'm like, are you really actually interested in English? And they're like, no, not really. So I'm like, well, why would you learn something you're not interested in, right? Because it's so much harder to learn something you're not interested in than to learn something you are interested in. Like I look at like children, and parents force their children to do certain activities, and right, every child needs to be pushed to do things they don't want to do. Like that's absolutely right. But for some reason, parents tend to force their students to learn something they're not interested in at all. And the student just ends up wasting a ton of time, not actually learning anything. I see this with students that are learning English in Japan all the time. They just don't have any interest in the English. They don't engage in the class. Even if I try to make it fun, they don't really want to engage. And that's just because they're not interested in it. Like, it's just not suited to them. And because they're not interested, they don't tend to learn a lot. On the other hand, I have students that like English, that enjoy English, that like to talk to me, enjoy participating in the lesson. And those students always learn more than the students who are just learning for their job, or parents are forcing them to learn or whatever, because again, there's no interest, and you're not going to change without interest. So yeah, guys, the number one thing is like, stop. If you're living your life, pursuing something someone else wants you to do, and like I understand people live in circumstances where they can't pursue something they're interested in, but if you can find something that you're interested in, that you've liked since you were a child, something that, like, the best way I heard it described was something that other people find difficult to do, like tedious, hard, difficult to do, but you can do for hours and hours and no problem. Like for me right now, that's learning Japanese. In the past, it was playing certain video games, doing jujitsu, playing guitar, things like that, things other people get bored of quickly. But for me, it was just really suited towards me and I loved it. So I was able to progress into it. So yeah, it's really important to find that thing, and as much as you can, like, chase it, spend your time doing that, because those particular things are really the places where you can grow the most and where you really can gain a lot of skill. And it's like the things that you're not totally interested in, like, you're going to be capped, on how much you can actually learn, in my opinion. So guys, like I said, stop trying to force yourself. The point of this video is stop trying to force yourself to learn something you're not interested in. If you want to make big gains, if you want to do something you like, if you want to, really change your life by learning something new, choose something you're interested in. Choose something that, you have a personal connection to. Anyways, guys, see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.